Hello, sir. My name is Ram. Hello, Ram. How may I help you? Sir, I'm pursuing a major in demography and I'm here for an internship regarding vital statistics. Have a seat. Tell me, what is demography? Demography is the statistical study of human population. It encompasses the study of the size, structure, and distribution of these populations, and spatial and/or temporal changes in them response to birth, migration, aging, and death. For this study, the main inputs are data pertaining to birth, marriages, divorces, sicknesses, and deaths of human population. I wish to know more about this branch of statistics. Very well. Let me give you a brief idea on vital statistics first, and then you may start working on it. Thank you. Vital statistics is a government database recording the births and deaths of individuals within government's jurisdiction. In general, vital events in this context mean events of human life such as birth, death, sickness, marriage, migration, divorce, adoption, separation, etc. Human population plays a very important role in the development of a country. Hence, using vital statistics, the health and growth of a country can be studied. Is there a particular method to collect the data? Yes, there are two methods of collecting the vital statistics. Have you seen people approaching the Gram Panchayats, municipalities, corporation offices, etc. to get their newborn baby's birth certificate, newlywed couple register to get marriage certificate, a few other people in need of a death certificate to claim their deceased parents or relatives, insurance or other documents? These are the offices where the statistical data can be accurately collected. This method is called registration method, where details regarding date of birth, sex, nationality, religion, name of parents of the baby will be registered, and also in case of death and date of death, name of deceased, age, cause of death, address, spouse or parent's name is registered. This mentioned is definitely compulsory and hence will be continuous data. Right. You must also be aware of enumerators sent to the government to every house to collect data regarding number of people in every home, their age, gender, education, occupational status, marital status, religion, etc. Yes, once in 10 years, census. Correct. This is also a method of collecting vital statistics data. It's called the census enumeration method. But the data collected will pertain only to that particular year and hence doesn't help in providing suitable data for analysis. How does one analyze the vital statistic data? Is there a particular tool to measure the population? There is a mathematical method of estimating the population. Say you have two census data. Now we assume that the growth of the population during the intercensal years is at a constant ratio. If one has the records of birth, death, immigration and emigration, the population at any time can be obtained using this formula. PT is equal to P0 plus B minus D plus I minus E. Suppose we want to estimate the population for the year 2013. P0 will be the population in the previous census year. B is the number of births in the year 2013. D is the number of deaths in the year 2013. I is the number of immigrants in the year 2013. And E is the number of emigrants in the year 2013. Understood? Yes, sir. What do you need to learn next is two important concepts: fertility and mortality. Let us begin with fertility. Do you know what it means? Yes, fertility refers to the births occurring to women who are of childbearing age. Yes, Here, the childbearing age of females is between 15 and 49 years. There is another related term called the fecundity, which refers to the maximum fertility level that a woman can attain. There are different measures to fertility. The crude birth rate, the annual number of live births per 1,000 people. The formula is number of live births in a year divided by average population in the year into 1,000. It indicates the rate of growth of population due to live birth. But it ignores the age and composition of the population and considers both men and women. So, we use another measure, the general fertility rate. The annual number of live births per 1,000 women of childbearing age. The formula is number of live births in a year divided by total number of women of childbearing age in year into 1,000. Here, it considers only the female population of childbearing age, but it does not indicate rate of growth of population due to birth as it is based on a part of the population only. The third measure of fertility is age-specific fertility rates. The annual number of live births per 1,000 women for a particular age group of women of childbearing age. The formula is number of live births in a year for a specified age group, say 25 to 29, divided by total number of women in that particular age group in the year into 1,000. This measure facilitates comparison of fertility of different age groups in the same population, but can't compare the fertility of different populations. This method also doesn't indicate rate of growth of population due to birth. Note here that if the ASFR are computed for width of 5 years, such as 15 to 19 or 45 to 49, the ASFRs are called quinquennial ASFR. The fourth measure is the total fertility rate, the number of live births per woman completing her reproductive life, taking into consideration the total of annual ASFRs of females of childbearing. Now, this measure helps in comparing fertility of different populations, but is based on assumption that all women survive throughout the childbearing age, which is not true. Could you pass me the red file? Sure, sir. This is the latest data collected. I want you to calculate all the measures of fertility. Alright, for CBR it is the total number of live births divided by the total population. Here, sum of total male and female population. This value into 1,000, which is equal to 14.23. For GFR, I will need number of women of childbearing age. So, I need to calculate the total for this portion only. GFR is equal to number of live births, 1,868 divided by 36,220 into 1,000, which equals 51.53. Next, for the age-specific fertility rate, consider age group of 20 to 24. ASFR is number of live births for that group divided by total number of women in that group. 657 divided by 7,120 into 1,000 is equals to 92.27. Similarly, for the other age groups, ASFRs is as follows. Total fertility rate is the summation of all the ASFRs. Since the age group is quinquennial, total fertility rate is taken as 5 times the summation of quinquennial ASFR. Okay, so TFR is equal to 5 into 269.75, which equals 1348.75. Note that the average number of child per woman can be calculated as TFR divided by 1,000. In this case, 1348.75 divided by 1,000 equal to 1.348. Alright, now moving further, the fertility rates does not consider the sex of the newly born children and their mortality, and hence is unsuitable for giving an idea of rate of growth of population. For this purpose, reproduction rate is calculated. The gross reproduction rate is the number of daughters who would be born to a woman completing her reproductive life at current age, specific fertility rate. Gross reproduction rate looks at the rate which mothers would be replaced by daughters and old generation by the new, provided no mother dies till the age of 49 years. Mathematically, it is the product of the magnitude of age class into summation of women-specific fertility rate. WSFR is the number of female birth to women of age X during a particular period divided by total number of women of the age X for the same period. Since this method does not consider the current mortality of female children, we consider another measure called the net reproduction rate. The net reproduction ratio is the expected number of daughters per newborn prospective mother who may or may not survive to and through the ages of childbearing. NRR is computed as product of summation of WSFR into magnitude of the age class into survival rate. Take a look at this data. The gross and net reproduction rate are calculated as shown. Note that if the GRR and NRR per thousand women is less than 1, it means that the population is decreasing. If the values are greater than 1, the population has a tendency to increase. If NRR and GRR are exactly equal to 1, it indicates that a group of newly born females will exactly replace itself in the new generation and the population will be constant. This data shows the NRR rate is less than 1 and hence the population is decreasing. Exactly, this is about fertility. Now moving on to mortality. Could you tell me what it means? Mortality refers to death occurring in the population. The cause may be natural or accidental like sickness, accidents, old age, etc. Does mortality also have various measures? Yes. The important measures of mortality are the crude death rate. The annual number of deaths per thousand people is given by the number of deaths occurring in a year divided by average population in the year into 1000. The next measure is the age-specific death rate, which is the average number of deaths occurring in a given age group divided by the average population is that age group into 1000. These two measures cannot be used to compare death rates of two or more populations, and hence we use another measure called the standard death rates. Here, one population is taken as standard and the standardized death rates for the two regions are calculated. First, ASDR is calculated for each group using the population, and then the weighted average of ASDR is calculated by taking the standard population as weight. This report shows the STDR calculated for two particular towns. It can be seen that the STDR for the first town is less than that of the second town. Hence, we conclude that the town A is healthier. The next measure is the infant mortality rate. The annual number of deaths of children less than 1 year old per thousand live births. This is a measure of risk of death between the birth of a baby and its first year birthday. IMR indicates the level of health, nutrition and socio-economic development of a region and can be calculated for male and females separately. IMR is computed as number of deaths among the infants in the year divided by total number of live births in the same year into 1000. Another measure of mortality is neonatal mortality rate. This is a measure of death of infants within 28 days of birth. It is the average number of neonatal deaths per thousand live births in a year and is calculated as shown. Around 60% of infant deaths are neonatal deaths. Another problem faced is the death of mother during child. This mortality rate measure is called maternal mortality rate. It is defined as the average number of deaths among the mothers due to childbirth per thousand births in a year. Maternal mortality is a sign of healthiness of female population of childbearing age and is also termed as the puerperal death. That is astonishingly sad. Yes, that is all about mortality. Now, there is just one more thing you need to learn before I send you to the field. Life table. Have you heard about it? Indeed, sir, in demography. A life table, also called a mortality table, is a table which shows for each age what the probability is that a person of that age will die before his or her next birthday. From this starting point, a number of inferences can be derived. The probability of surviving any particular year of age. Remaining life expectancy for people at different ages. There are two types of life tables. Static life tables show the current probability of death for people of different ages in the current year. Cohort life tables show the probability of death of people from a given cohort, especially birth year, over the course of their lifetime. Life tables are usually constructed separately for men and for women because of their substantially different mortality rates. Other characteristics can also be used to distinguish different risks such as smoking status, occupation, and socio-economic class. Very good. The basic algebra used in life tables is as follows. Qx. The probability that someone aged exactly X will die before reaching age X plus 1. Px. The probability that someone aged exactly X will survive to age X plus 1. Px is equal to 1 minus Qx. Lx. The number of people who survive to age X. Note that this is based on a radix to starting point of L0 lives typically taken as 1 lakh. Dx. The number of people who die at the aged X before reaching X plus 1. What are the uses of life tables? Life table is used for insurance companies to determine the rate of premium policies for different ages, used for estimating future population, used in calculating net reproduction rate, used by government agencies and private organizations to plan educational programs, retirement schemes, healthcare, etc. Used to analyze what effect mortality has on age and sex composition of a population. Now, could you think of all the uses of vital statistics? Vital statistics is used in study of demographic structure and trends such as the age and sex composition of the population. The general trend in birth and death rates are all described by vital statistics. It helps in evaluation of economic and social development of a country. Statistics of births, deaths, famine, etc. are very useful to various agencies, health authorities, insurance agencies, etc. Statistics of sickness, famine, etc. are of use to research in medical and pharmaceutical fields. It also helps the government in understanding the impact of family welfare programs in the country. They are used in actuarial science as well. They are highly useful to an individual as it records the birth, death, marriage, and divorce during his or her lifetime. Very good. Now you are ready to work on the project. All the best. Thank you, sir.